For a 10-year period starting in 1991, I carried 2 camera systems, stills and video, on all my expeditions. And the challenge was twofold. There was a weight factor, but also the difficulty of deciding what to shoot with, stills or video. Around 2001, I switched completely over to video. These days, I'm back to shooting both. I guess I'm bipolar. And as you probably know, there are now still cameras that shoot high quality video, so you just need one camera to do both. Okay, back to the Bow Valley for a couple minutes. I'd like to showcase some of our friends from this valley, all artists in the way they live their lives in the vertical mountain world. And if you don't see yourself in this show, it's because you're in one of the 300 photos that I couldn't fit in. This is another Banff Center alumnus, Will Schmidt, who has shared his advice and projects with me over the years. And he's on a multi-peak traverse that we did above Lake of Hanging Glaciers in the Purcells. The bugaboos are in the distance there. And here's writer Jeff Powder on Yam, uncharacteristically climbing with a rope. Roger DeBear has been my rope gun on any number of shoots here. You caught a glimpse of him in the film clip High on Assiniboine. And here he is leading Kitty Hawk in preparation for a shoot that I did of Grant Statham and Tim Poche doing an early repeat of the Unicorn. Will Gadd is part Kim Chismazia on the ice cave on Lefroy Glacier. Barb Clem's getting a bit of airtime at Grassy Lakes. Barry Blanchard about to drop ice into someone's drink. And here he is with Sir Christian Bonington filming a climbing sequence on Hauling Peak. Still trying to hone my business skills in the mid-'80s, I really appreciated the invitation to spend a week with the Boningtons in the Lakes District of England. During the mornings, I climbed with Chris, and in the afternoons, got some great ideas observing how they ran their business. And I found over the years that many professionals that I've approached have willingly shared little tips and tidbits of how they've managed to make ends meet in their chosen craft. I think any aspiring photographer should think about going out and bugging some professionals to get a few pointers from them. Even though it seems like I've spent most of my professional career tramping around in the least developed countries in the world, one of my favorites is Japan, where there's an alluring mix of the future and the past. In 1995, Bibe and I joined Jacob Herrero from Canmore on a 30-day ridge walk of the Japan Alps. With his command of the Japanese language, he was a perfect companion. The trail followed the spine of the Alps at an average elevation of around 3,000 meters. Just above us in Banff here, there's a semi-technical ridge walk from the top of Rundle to Canmore along Mount Rundle. Imagine doing a traverse like that lasted a month. And on top of all that, we tucked into delicious Japanese food every night. Wouldn't it be great if the Alpine Club provided meals like this in their huts? We also spent a month skiing powder in Hokkaido and northern Honshu. And this photo tells it all. They get a ton of snow up there. Some of the best snow I've ever skied on. In case you hadn't guessed it by now, skiing really is my greatest passion. So much so that I made a pilgrimage to the village of the Norwegian skier who invented the telemark turn, Sondre Norheim. 10 of the 20 high-altitude peaks I climbed involved using skis for all or most of their ascent. Here's the start of a traverse of Denali, which involved 5 days of walking and skiing just to reach the mountain. I photographed all types of riding on snow, from this avalanche in the Caribous, John Eves snowboarding also in the Caribous, Rich Marshall in the Esplanade Range near Golden, Larry Stanier skiing from near the top of Sir Sanford. Me setting the world record for the telemark turn on Mustagata in the Chinese Pamir in 1981. And discovering the joys of sand skiing with Lloyd Gallagher on that same expedition. Here's Martin Williams skiing through ice crystals in Verbier. And Martin heading for the ocean on the Antarctic Peninsula. And here he is again, climbing Mount Ad Astra, right off the frozen ocean on the western edge of Ellesmere Island at -50. Nearly everything I learned about staying warm in the mountains, I learned from Martin. A photographer needs a model, and over the years, Biba found herself appearing on book and magazine covers. I'd often ask her for a second or third take, so she probably skied and walked twice as far as I did, trying to get the right shot. I don't think she minded me asking her to do this run a second time in Rogers Pass.